Imagine a manuscript older than entire nations, a relic crafted in 1357, surviving wars, dynasties, and the slow decay of time. At first glance, it resembles any other medieval document: worn parchment, fading ink, an unfamiliar hand. Yet this manuscript is not just a book. It is a doorway, a key, a forbidden window into a version of Earth that official history insists never existed. Its title, The Travels of Sir John Mandeville. This is not a fable, nor a religious allegory disguised as travel notes. It is the detailed chronicle of a Christian knight who journeyed beyond the boundaries of medieval imagination, across continents known and unknown, through kingdoms erased from textbooks, and into worlds that modern scholars refuse to acknowledge. His descriptions read not like myths, but like field reports: distances, landscapes, laws, currencies, dynasties, flora, fauna, observed with the precision of someone who actually stood there. And that precision is exactly what creates the central paradox. The world he describes does not match the world we have been taught to believe in. His maps overlap with no modern atlas. His nations do not appear in official archives. His rulers are absent from every academic chronicle. Either Sir John Mandeville was the most accomplished liar the Middle Ages ever produced, or our version of history is a carefully edited remnant of a much larger, deliberately hidden truth. According to the manuscript, miracles were not myths but geographic realities. At the foot of Mount Pelum, he writes, flowed a spring unlike anything in our world, its waters aromatic with shifting scents, its taste changing every hour as though it were alive. 3 sips, he claims, could heal any disease. Locals called it the Fountain of Youth. Further along, he records encounters with griffins, not as symbolic creatures, but as biological entities. They were enormous, powerful enough to lift horses into the sky, their talons so large that people fashioned drinking vessels from them. Their bones became weapons. Their feathers became bows of enormous force. These were not monsters of imagination. These were resources, dangerous, but real. He then describes horned men who grunted like animals, and an island of giants so tall, 30, even 50 feet, that sailors refused to approach its shores. These giants waded into the ocean to drag ships onto land like toys. Yet none of this is the strangest part. Among the most unsettling passages is the account of 10 ancient tribes, belonging to the lineage of Gog and Magog, sealed behind the mountains near the Caspian region. According to Mandeville, Alexander the Great himself imprisoned them. Unable to contain their numbers with armies, Alexander prayed for intervention. The mountains, he writes, shifted and locked them in. Only one narrow pass remained, guarded by none other than the Queen of the Amazons. These tribes, Mandeville insists, were still alive in the 14th century, speaking ancient Hebrew, unable to communicate with the outside world. This was not merely separation. It was systematic isolation. A civilizational quarantine. If entire nations could be hidden behind mountains, what prevented entire empires from being erased from history books? And then Sir John unveils the most explosive revelation of all. He speaks of Cath, a land overflowing with wealth, foreign merchants, spices, silk, and magnificent cities. But Cath, he explains, was not China. Cath stood next to China. A separate country. A different civilization entirely. Cath was the jewel at the center of a massive northern empire. Great Tartary. He describes its capital, its economy, its gold-covered palaces, its leather-based currency, and the incredible wealth of its ruler, the Great Khan, who, according to Mandeville, was the most powerful figure on earth. The author even states openly, "My companions and I served this emperor for 15 months. He saw it with his own eyes. He was part of its military campaign. He lived under its ruler. So why is this empire absent from the historical narrative? Why do modern maps show no sign of Great Tartary? Why are its palaces, rulers, and cities erased?" The answer, implied between the lines of the manuscript, is chilling. Because the empire did not simply collapse. It was annihilated, and then forgotten. Not by accident, but by design. Mandeville hints that the Great Khan's dominion posed a direct threat to rising Western powers. A civilization richer, larger, and more advanced than Europe was unacceptable. It challenged the idea that Europe was the center of world progress. And so, after what must have been a colossal conflict, possibly accompanied by a cataclysmic disaster, the empire vanished. Its lands were buried under earth and reshaped by floods. Its maps were burned. Its name was twisted. Its identity was stolen. The name Cath, associated with immeasurable wealth, was reassigned to neighboring China, creating a false trail. Future historians would search China for the Great Khan's golden palace, find nothing, and conclude that medieval travelers were delusional. And Tartary, once the largest empire on earth, was scrubbed out, first rewritten, then ridiculed, then removed entirely. What survived? A stray manuscript. A lone testimony. A message smuggled through centuries of silence. Sir John Mandeville's book is not a fantasy. It is a fragment of a suppressed world. A surviving shard of a civilization erased from the narrative of humanity. If an empire of this magnitude can disappear without a trace. If entire nations can be locked behind mountains. If history can be rewritten so completely. Then the real question becomes, what else lies hidden in sealed archives and forbidden libraries? How much of our world is built on curated memory rather than truth? And how many more chapters of human history have been stolen, waiting for someone to rediscover them?